Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios, here to give you the sports news I think you need to hear. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, say what's up to the people out on the internet.
What up, y'all? How's it rolling?
Yo, yo, yo. What is poppin', Danny?
We're going. It's going. It is certainly rolling. We're moving toward Christmas. People seem to be skipping over Thanksgiving even more this year. I don't know if you think that, but yeah, Christmas time is here. Thanksgiving is about a week and a half away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, weekend some change away. Excited. Should be cool. Rob, what's going on with you?
Yeah, nothing much. I'm just ready to get the sports rambling going. We got some NBA to talk about. We're going to do that first today. Haven't done that in a while, of course. Then another thing we haven't gone to in a while, Danny, is we got the MLS Cup Playoffs going on. We got the conference semifinals to go over. And then in the warm-up, we got what you've been watching in the sports world recently. More or less on the media side, like what you've been watching on your phone, on your smart TVs, that type of stuff. And then, of course, we got the rundown with everything else in the sports world, so stick around for that. But personally, Danny, your boy has been struggling. Remember last time we recorded, I was telling you I wasn't feeling well, and then literally towards the end of the episode, if you guys go back to the end, I kind of coughed a little bit, and I was like, oh man, good thing we made it to the end. Because, holy shit, Danny. Your boy was struggling.
Was it that bad?
I guess it was bad. Like, I was struggling to edit. It was that bad.
Damn.
Like, yeah, I had, like, the aches and pains. I had congestion. I had a cough. It wasn't a, repetitive cough, but it was, like, one of those, like, is he dying coughs?
Yeah.
So, like, every day in the morning, I just go turn the faucet on, have the warm and cold water on so I can get a good, decent amount of water pressure and a good amount of warm water running through the pipes, and just blow my nose, just start coughing, just hucking them up.
Okay, Mr. Hawktua.
So, yeah, that's what I was doing for, like, those 3-4 days right after we recorded. I mean, I was able to edit. I mean, it was a struggle. I was like forcing myself to, like, literally once we finished recording, I literally had to force myself to, like, record everything. Well, not record, but to edit. And then I don't know if anyone noticed, but we were posting some slightly more social media stuff. Hope everyone liked that. And yeah, I had to force myself to do that the next day too. I was like, fuck. I was like, why? I mean, by Friday I was okay. I gotta go play some Magic with the homies.
Hell
some
yeah.
Magic the Gathering. So, I mean, yeah, it was cool. But yeah, I mean, it was cool to play, but even that day too, like, I went to my friend's house, and I was like, I'm good. And then, like, I wasn't spreading nothing, but my body was, like, telling me, like, it was shutting down.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
Yeah, I was feeling it, and I'm still kind of feeling it, so sorry if you guys hear me coughing in the background or clearing my throat. I'm like, let's say 98% good.
Hell yeah.
So, good enough. I don't have a fever or nothing. I don't even think I had a fever. It was just like aches, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so your boy was going through it the past week and a half.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Rob.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got anything else to say, Danny, besides, it's going?
No, work's been alright. Been a little tough in the past couple of days, but cruising. Gonna have, we have a mini work Thanksgiving celebration that's gonna go on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. Other than that,
Ooh, nice.
I mean, not much. Shout out to, the homie, Maddie. His birthday's, also on Thursday. Shout out to you, Big M. Happy birthday.
Hey, nice. Hopefully they're listening to us, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I just gave him a shout out. I'm gonna tell him now he has to listen.
I know for sure. Tell him, hey, you better listen. There's something important on there for you.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that,
So yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, bro.
Alrighty. I think that's all from the personal side. Danny, are you ready to well, actually, before we do some housekeeping, so the people can know, let me see. As the holidays are coming up, you will see a lack of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of that really quick. So yeah, obviously no episode next week because it is Christmas week, and we've been trying to do every 2 weeks for a show. So yeah, next week is Thanksgiving, and then let me see, probably the first week of of December, and then yeah, maybe an episode after that. So it'll be the 17th possibly.
Yeah.
And then you might not see us the next 2 to 3 weeks after that, until the new year basically.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we're looking forward though. But yeah, we'll try to, maybe we'll have an episode in there somewhere, but we'll see. But yeah, Danny, are you prepared to get this show on the road a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alrighty, guys. For our first sports topic of the week, we have our NBA season update with our NBA correspondent, Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, what you got for us this week? Of course, as always, I'm not too savvy in the NBA right now. I'm still learning. So what I got for you right now, just as cliff notes, we got Cavs undefeated. Anthony Davis is doing really well from beyond the 3-point line.
Yep.
The Beard moves to number 2 all time. Cat is doing really well in his new arena. And yeah, we got some games to look forward to, but what you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs are on a goddamn roll. I think we started talking about this last time. Yeah, they were on a crazy tear. I think last time we talked about this, I think it was when Boston had just lost a game. Oklahoma was still undefeated. Yeah, I mean, they're on a 15-0 start to the season. They joined the Golden State Warriors, the 2016 Golden State Warriors, the 1994 Houston Rockets, and the 1949 Washington Capitals, with similar starts to the seasons, with the Warriors having the league record with a 24-game start winning streak that led them to a 73-9 season.
They did not win the championship that year.
They did not win the championship that year. But all of the other teams made it to the finals, including the Warriors, with the Rockets being the one team to win the championship that year. But yeah, I mean, I think, did we talk about it last time? Just they're basically just passing the ball to Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland has been on a goddamn tear. He's been doing everything and anything. His passes have been amazing, shooting from 3, driving, kicking, grabbing some amazing screens and stuff. I mean, they are just great. Yeah, Evan Mobley has been averaging. You know what? Let me pull up his actual average because I don't want to.
No, yeah. Darius Garland did pop up in my research. Yeah, everyone's pretty hyped about him right now.
Yeah.
I guess you could say a diamond in the rough of sorts. You know, just coming out of nowhere of sorts. I mean, you be talking about the main star Donovan Mitchell, but yeah, even Evan Mobley, you know, dumping it to him.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting boards, he's getting points.
Yeah, he's been averaging 18.1 points, 8.8 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 0.9 steals, 1.5 blocks, on 57.1% field goal. I mean, he's been doing amazing. Yeah, Darius Garland taking kind of a backseat, like a 1A, 1B type of thing with Donovan Mitchell has really been helping out. And in those times when Donovan Mitchell's not on the floor, he really shines. Like, keeping Evan Mobley and Darius Garland on the floor at the same time, they're so damn good, man. The passing is incredible. Damn, I can't I can't credit Kenny Atkinson enough. Like the way he's been running this offense is crazy. Yeah, it just looks so fluid. They've got decent shooters, which obviously helps with spacing and whatnot. But yeah, I did not think the Cavs. I thought the Oklahoma City Thunder. I forget if the last time we recorded, they had just lost one or they were still undefeated. It might have been like the game right before they lost.
I think they had already lost.
They already lost. Yeah, but I thought they were gonna run with a long win streak to begin the season, but fortunately they were plagued with injuries.
You did say that to the episode prior of that one. You said that.
Oh right, yes, because we did talk about the Chet Holmgren injury and the Hartenstein injury.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We thought they were gonna break their record, the Sonics record, but unfortunately that didn't end up happening. But
but they did set a streak of what was it, like 20+ point differential win streak in like the beginning of the season. That was like their record, I think.
Yeah, they were winning big.
Yeah, they were winning by big numbers.
But to piggyback on the Cavs thing real quick, we could probably see if these guys are balling out. Like right now, they already have 15 games, one under their belt.
Yep.
We could probably see. I mean, this isn't uncommon nowadays. Excuse me. But we could probably see 3, maybe 4 people from this Cavs team being named All-Stars this year.
Damn, so tough. I really do believe that those 3 guys.
I mean, it's common.
Yeah, I mean, but
from the Cavs.
I think so. If they're still at the top of the leaderboard, you just can't ignore it. Like, how can you not have them be at the top and not take 3 players from their roster? I think last year it was just Tatum and Brown, right? Or was Brown snubbed last year?
I can't recall.
I don't recall. But I mean they're at the top of the East. Yeah, this year, Donovan Mitchell's thus far averaging 24.6 points, 4.4 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.5 steals. Amazing. And he is doing that on a 46.9% field goal. Yeah, I mean, they just been doing goddamn good. Yeah, I just cannot say enough about this team.
If you would have told me last year that the Cavs were gonna be 15-0 right now and be undefeated, in the regular season, I would have been like, dude, you're insane.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have Donovan Mitchell, but like that's it. And it's the Cavs. It's Cleveland. You know, once LeBron left, you would have thought like, all right.
Yeah, you would have thought it would have been a 3-year, 4-year rebuild period, but I mean, they had Darius Garland picked up pretty quick. Yeah, I mean, and Evan Mobley was a solid pickup from them. And then when they picked up Jared Allen as well.
Him and his brother were really good at USC, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the third star, Darius Garland, to kind of complete that trifecta, he's been taking the passing role. He's averaging 21.4 points, 2.4 rebounds, 7 assists a game, and 1.2 steals at a 52.5 field goal percentage. It's been amazing. Like that, we don't have access to like crazy advanced stats and whatnot and whatever. I'm sure we can dive deep, maybe on like a podium episode.
Too bad there's not a website or a sports company that is the worldwide leader in sports that has all that.
Oh.
Here's a stat for you right here. There's a man by the name of Jarrett Allen.
Jarrett Allen, yeah.
He's averaging 4.5 points, and he leads the team with rebounds with 10.9, so nearly 11 rebounds. So yeah, there you go. There's your fourth guy.
Yes. If I could pull up the stat, I would pull up the point differential percentage when Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell are on the floor at the same time, but I cannot do that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good advanced stat, but I can't do that right now. So I bet bigger podcast with access.
ESPN will make you pay for that one.
Yeah, bigger podcast with access to whatever software like Spectrum or some shit like that will we'll have
I
that.
think it's their next gen stats.
Yeah, some shit like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
they're just rolling. Yeah. Other news in the NBA world. Jason Tatum
What you got
and
first, Danny?
Julius Randle, excuse me. They both had game winners, and both times the NBA after said that they traveled right before the game winning shot. Post game, so I mean they're just saying it.
That's crazy.
Just to say, but yeah, the Julius Randle one, it's like I guess you can kind of argue the Jason Tatum one was blatant. That was a blatant travel. It's crazy. They didn't call it. Julius Randle. I mean, you were watching in slow motion. You're like, okay, this guy traveled. In the moment, I think it's easy to miss. But that's what you get paid as an official, right? But anyway, excuse me. Wait, just 1 second, Rob.
Oh, what you got?
Yeah.
I'll take over.
No, yeah. Go ahead. My dog starts scratching my door.
Oh, okay. So Danny's gonna step away for a moment. What I was mentioning earlier when we started, I guess I'll take over here. Anthony Davis is emerging as a 3-point threat for the Lakers. The Lakers' star big man is shooting a career best 42.9% from 3-point range this season. Entering this week, Anthony Davis is averaging a career high 31.1 points per game, while shooting 56.1% from the floor, 42.9% from 3-point range, and 79.8% from the 3-point line. The free throw line. Stuttered there a bit. But yeah, this is great for him. I remember a handful of years ago, I think when Kobe Bryant, may rest in peace, he was doing, I can't remember. It was the ESPN little document series where he was, shedding a spotlight on specific players and, their best techniques and what they have to do. And I believe he was talking about, the next advancement for the big man in the NBA, and it was they could do everything, be on the floor, they could shoot, they could defend the area, defend the paint. It was just the 3-point line was, getting to them. So yeah, I think he's starting to, take a whack at it, go up against that stat. And yeah, he's starting to sink the 3-pointers in. So yeah, good on Anthony Davis. Just hopefully he could stay healthy. There was a slight scare maybe a couple weeks ago, where a reporter was asking LeBron, like, what are you gonna do if he's hurt? And then you can hear in the background, I'm not hurt. And I believe it was Anthony Davis responding to the comment, and LeBron was like, yeah, he's not hurt, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so why are you wishing him to be hurt?
It's
crazy.
I don't know. I think he just wanted a response like, well, if he's hurt, what do you think?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, he's not hurt.
Yeah, he's not hurt. We're not going to bank on him being hurt. If he's hurt, they'll deal with it from there. But it's kind of crazy. You never want to plan for one of your players to be hurt. It just doesn't make any sense. Especially right now, playing through AD, your star. You don't want to, you can anticipate something happening to your star players, but I mean, you don't want to plan for it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, you always have to have something in place, but
yeah, and I'm sure they do. But yeah, you still want to put it out in the world like that. Crazy that they would ask that.
Yeah. But Dan, you're all situated?
Yes, sir.
All right, for sure. Wait, see, I know you were talking about
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all done with the Cavs. Yeah, the Lakers have been doing great.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis shooting. I think the thing that they're kind of struggling with is finding a good backup point guard. Yeah, I mean, D'Angelo's been doing decent. He's averaging 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2.1 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. I mean, it's decent. In the regular season, I think he's gonna, he's low on points now, but he's definitely, that number's gonna shoot up. The coaching from JJ Redick has been great, making adjustments. I think they are just struggling a little bit with a backup center. Kind of to your point, if Anthony Davis is hurt, they've got Christian Coloco, who has just started into the lineup, but he hasn't had much time thus far yet. With the team and whatnot. In his last game, as of this recording. In the Lakers' win against New Orleans, he had a stat line of 6.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block, which is great. But I think they need a little bit more from a backup point guard, someone who can reliably sub in for Anthony Davis. In that game, he played 11 minutes. Keep
talking because now my dog is calling me.
Yeah. To talk a little bit more about that. I think they're doing great so far. But I tell my coworkers this. I tell other people who ask. I think they really messed up by letting Scottie Pippen go as a backup point guard. Scottie Pippen Jr. He was great. He had a lot of promise. The Lakers invested in Huchefino, which is not doing so great, not doing so hot right now. But it is what it is. They've made their decision, and Memphis Grizzlies love them for it. But I think that if the Lakers are going to make a move, still on the table, I think is Valanciunas, another point guard. Somewhere else, I don't know who they would be able to pick up now, but those are the two things I think the Lakers would really benefit from. Gabe Vincent has been a bit of a disappointment. I think the Lakers were really banking on him coming back from his injury and really padding the stat lines and helping out when needed, but it just hasn't been that way. Maybe he'll bounce back soon, but it is not trending in that direction. But anyway, the Lakers look good. Currently, the standings in the NBA in the West, as we talk about the Lakers, they are sitting at third with a 9-4 record. The Western Conference is led by the Oklahoma City Thunder, followed by the Golden State Warriors, who also have been on a tear. Buddy Hield has been really helping them out. Fourth in the standings are the Houston Rockets, followed by the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets, moving up from the 9th slot to the 6th. And then in our 7th through 10th place, we got the Memphis Grizzlies, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the LA Clippers, and the Sacramento Kings. And all 10 teams have a winning record in the West. But when we move on to the Eastern Conference, we've got a very top-heavy conference where Cleveland Cavaliers lead the East, followed by the Boston Celtics, the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Miami Heat in the top 6. With that 5th place, the Hawks having a losing record, and the New York Knicks having 2 games above 500. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm right. 2 games above 500. And then in the Eastern 7th through 10th slot, we have the Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, the Chicago Bulls, and the Charlotte Hornets. Just to highlight the difference between the East and the West right now, in the 10th slot, the Charlotte Hornets have a 5-8 record, while in the Western Conference, the Sacramento Kings have an 8-7 record. We're still really early in the season, but I think just comparing the caliber of the two teams, the Sacramento Kings and the Charlotte Hornets are nowhere near in the same tier of teams right now. The Charlotte Hornets are not contenders. They're fighting for a play-in spot, where the Sacramento Kings,
you're excused,
thank you, Rob. With a little bit of luck, they can definitely squeeze out a playoff spot, I think, in the West. They'd have to knock out it's looking really tight. They'd have to knock out maybe the Suns or the Timberwolves, who are definitely gonna vie for the spot that the Houston Rockets is taking in that top 6 right now. But the Sacramento Kings can definitely squeeze in there. The West is just very stacked right now. It's a tough NBA.
Super stacked.
Yeah, it is a tough NBA field, especially if you're in the Western Conference. But moving on to a couple of headlines. The Beard, James Harden.
A couple minutes left, okay, Danny?
Yeah, he takes number 2 in all-time three-pointers made. It was a funny little clip. He was asked by a reporter if he thinks that he'll ever surpass Steph, and he kind of giggled at the question, and he said no, he doesn't think he's going to pass Steph. He says he doesn't even consider Steph to be number one. He's like, Steph is an anomaly. He's probably never going to be passed. So he's like, in my head, I'm number one, which is a crazy thing to say.
Bro.
But I mean, it is a huge milestone. Congrats to the Beard. Congrats to James Harden. He surpasses Ray Allen, who had 2,973 made 3-pointers. And he is leading the Clippers to potentially a play-in spot in the stacked Western Conference. I mean, Rob, do you want to talk about a couple other headlines? Or I know we got a lot to talk about in the MLS playoffs. We can move on real quick. The only other thing I would say about the NBA is that I think the Dallas Mavericks are definitely going to swing back up. They've been on a bit of a win-loss, up and down roller coaster as of late. But, I mean, we're still so early in the season. 7 games. The only other team I would really be worried about that should be much better are the Philadelphia 76ers. We can dive into it in another episode. But, yeah, the Sixers are horrible right now when we did not expect them to be. I don't know what Joel Embiid is on. He's on some type of shit. Not wanting to play. I'll give him, maybe he had a minor injury in the early part of the season. But he has destroyed the locker room in Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, I think, are at least decently trying to keep things together, but falling back this slipping back this far or this early in the season is just, it's a tragedy.
They're regressing.
Yeah, it is a tragedy. Tyrese Maxey is coming back from an injury, but it is just horrible. I don't know what Embiid is doing.
2-11.
Yeah, they're 2-11. They are on a 4-game losing streak.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell is happening over in Philadelphia. Paul George is currently averaging it's not showing me that. He is averaging 16.7 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.1 assists. He's doing what Paul George does.
Yeah.
In his last game, his stat total was 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. He's doing what he's doing. And let's take a peek over to former MVP Joel Embiid and see what he is averaging. And abysmal for a former MVP. 14.7 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and 4 assists. His last game, he had 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. This is not what you want from your former MVP. His point differential was minus 22 when he's on the floor. This is horrible.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is really bad. I don't know what the hell is going on in Philadelphia. Is it Doc Rivers? Is it Embiid? Is it a combination of both? Who the hell knows? Oh, excuse me, not Doc Rivers. Nick Nurse. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on in Philadelphia. But they are in some trouble.
Oh well, no more process.
But, this is what the process yields.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But,
yeah.
You wanna say that for later, Danny?
Yeah. Let's move on to MLS playoffs.
I didn't even get to say my stuff.
Sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
You said, Robert, what do you have to say?
Yeah, and then I totally steamrolled you.
Right.
My bad.
Bruh, I was just gonna say, let's just look over the games of the week.
Sure.
Or what some games of importance. I have here, where the hell did I put it at? Oh, here we go. We got Magic at Lakers on Thursday, 10:30 Eastern time. Both are entering the week on a 5-game win streak. The Magic and Lakers will face each other at Crypto.com Arena, where the Lakers are currently 6-0. The matchup also features the league's second leading scorer, Anthony Davis, 31.1 points per game, against the league's second-ranked defense, as Orlando is allowing just 102.4 points per game. We also got, let me see. I got Knicks and Suns on Wednesday. If you're listening to this today now when this comes out. Yeah, that's a Wednesday 10 Eastern on ESPN. And yeah, no one has won or played in more clutch games this season than Phoenix. So yeah, who do you got for those two games, Danny? Let's go with the Wednesday game first. Knicks at Suns. Who do you got?
I got the Suns for that game. The Suns look really good right now.
Okay, and then Magic at Lakers.
It's got to be the Lakers. The Magic are a little bit injured. Franz Wagner's been killing it, but the Lakers are looking a little too good for the kind of injured and hobbled Orlando Magic.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that is everything from our NBA recap for this episode. But yeah, the season update. We'll come back to you soonish with some more info, but on the NBA. But yeah, that was a good go right there for us. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on in the program. Danny, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, for show. And on from the hardwood to the hard grass. Something we haven't really covered in a while, low key. Just been on again, off again. I think we covered it in the last episode or 2 episodes ago, but even then it wasn't really like a real update of sorts. We got the MLS Cup Playoffs still going on. We had the international break, put us on a pause, which now that I think about it, yeah, that was the reason why we didn't cover it last time. But yeah, we are now at the conference semifinals for the MLS Cup Playoffs. So we're going to give a slight little preview here. But yeah, it's been somewhat of a roller coaster, Danny. The top 3 seeds in the Western Conference, Inter Miami, Columbus Crew, and FC Cincinnati, all fell to the underdogs as New York City FC, the New York Red Bulls, and Atlanta United all respectively advanced into the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Red Bulls ended the Crew's MLS Cup title defense in 2 games, while a pair of series-defining goalkeeper performances from New York City's Matt Freese and Atlanta United's Brad Guzan pushed their teams over the line against Cincinnati and Miami. Over in the Western Conference, the LA Galaxy bounced back from a decision day loss and dismantled the Colorado Rapids over 2 games, while LAFC were pushed to their limit by the Vancouver Whitecaps in Game 3 before a Matsu Bogusz scored the game-winning goal for LAFC in Game 3. The Galaxy will now face the number 6 seed Minnesota United FC, who pulled off the only upset in the West by defeating Real Salt Lake, and LAFC will meet Seattle Sounders FC in a postseason fixture that has seen the winner advance to MLS Cup in each of their previous 3 playoff meetings in 2019, 2020, and 2023. So, Danny, are you excited for these MLS Cup conference semifinals?
Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
I think we talked about it last time. That the... excuse me. We talked about it last time that... I just got into football, basically. And... Yeah, I'm excited to see what they got in store. The one team I was hoping to make out of it, Columbus Crew. Let's see how far they go. Are they knocked out already or no?
Yeah, they got knocked out. That's what I just said.
Fuck. God damn it. Sorry, dude. I totally zoned out. Yeah, for you, I hope the LA Galaxy meet LAFC. And for you specifically, Rob, I hope the LA Galaxy win. I don't care. But if the city of LA wins another championship, that would be insane. LAFC or LA Galaxy, I think that'd just be huge. But
it'd be pretty significant.
Yeah. Otherwise, Inter Miami was also knocked out. Crazy. But
yeah, Atlanta just kind of they gave them a good fight. Everyone thought going back to Atlanta, Inter Miami would kind of done and dust them, but
Yeah.
their goalkeeper kept them in the game. And yeah, like in the last dying moments of the match, it was tied up. Atlanta gets the game winner, and they send it back to Miami, where they got the best of them.
Yeah, it just happens like that sometimes. But
And then breaking news. Inter Miami's head coach has officially left the team due to personal reasons. He will not be returning. Tata Martino is out as the head coach and manager of Messi and Friends Inter Miami. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I believe they're just going to move with the interim at the moment, but I'm pretty sure David Beckham and his crew are going to be
they'll find
searching
somebody
very quickly for a new head coach.
Yeah,
because that was low-key insane.
Yeah, I mean,
that he just...
Yeah, that's the first thing to do to go, right? You got star players, the coach is the first one to go.
He didn't get fired. He just left.
Oh. I thought this was like an ousting.
Are you listening to anything I'm saying? Are you listening?
I know, but you know what I mean?
I just said
the first thing to go, he's out.
For personal reasons, he is leaving.
I know, but is it an ousting? Is it you know what I mean? It's like forced retirement or forced leaving? You know what I mean?
I mean, it was only like his first official season as the head coach.
That is pretty crazy.
And he only basically came here because of Messi. That's why it's very odd. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
That's pretty insane.
So yeah, Inter Miami without a head coach now.
Damn, in shambles.
I'm pretty sure it's almost it's just odd, very odd.
Yeah.
Considering this is a MLS Cup winning coach.
Yeah.
But well, back to the playoffs themselves. Yeah, Atlanta beating Inter Miami, putting themselves in a pretty good position to possibly make it to the final. They wouldn't host because they were technically the 9th ranked team. But yeah, I guess we could go over the actual fixtures at hand, in order.
Let's talk about it.
So on Saturday, November 23rd, 2024, we got an Eastern and a Western Conference matchup. First up is the Eastern Conference matchup, which is pretty cool. We have I believe they call it the Hudson River Derby. We got New York Red Bulls visiting New York City FC. This is the 30th all-time meeting between the two, and first ever postseason Hudson River Derby between the two teams, and this will be taking place at the home of the New York Mets at Citi Field. Most people were expecting to see an all-Ohio Eastern Conference semifinal with Columbus and Cincinnati, but instead we now get to see
the
two New York sides. Yeah, do another battle up in New York. The Hudson River Derby will mark the 21st time two New York metropolitan area teams have met in the postseason, and just the third instance since 2010. The Red Bulls look to make their first Eastern Conference Finals since 2018, while New York City FC is aiming to reach their third conference final in the last 4 years. The ultimate bragging rights are up for grabs between the two rivals. Who will come up as the king of New York? If I were to make my prediction right now, I would probably go... I'm gonna go with New York City because they've won an MLS Cup already, and I think people are expecting the Red Bulls to just fall flat on their face once again. However, they did beat Columbus in 2 games. Lewis Morgan, he's proved to be a through and through scorer for the team. What's the guy's Forsberg? Their DP. People were a little suspect about him in the beginning, but I think he's come around as a good attacking piece for them. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And Dan, do you have any information you would like to tell us in regards to this New York matchup?
Yes, sir. Across 11 of the major men's professional sports teams, the New York metropolitan area, New York playoff match has been rare. Despite a close call in 2004, the New York Yankees and Mets have only met once in the 2000 World Series And in the NBA, the Knicks and the Nets have last met in 2004 as well, while the Jets and Giants have never faced one another in an NFL playoff game. The most common matchup between these have been in the NHL, with the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils facing off 4 times in the postseason since 2000. However, the Rangers and the Islanders last met over 25 years ago in 1998. So this blurb supplied to me by Robert. I mean,
I was about to say a slight typo. 2024, the Yankees and the Mets almost met.
Oh, yeah, they almost met. Yes, that's true. But yeah, I mean, the Battle of New York, I think, does not happen very often. I think too
Oh no, not a lot.
because they're two big market teams. They're typically not on the same rebuild cycle. They get starts at different times, and
Yeah.
it's tough for them to make playoff runs at the same time. I get in hockey, I think
Yeah.
players move around more often. It's a bit easier for those rosters to change. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. The Red Bulls did decently last season. We'll see if they continue that with a good postseason run this season. Yeah.
So yeah, this matchup will be taking place 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time on Apple TV. You can watch the game with the MLS season pass. Once again, Citi Field from Flushing's, New York. The winner advances to an Eastern Conference final against either Orlando City or Atlanta United, set for November 3rd or 1st, depending on the Supporters Shield standings. The other matchup on that Saturday, November 23rd, in the Western Conference, we got Seattle Sounders visiting LAFC. Since 2019, the Western Conference side of the MLS Cup Playoffs have been largely owned by LAFC and the Seattle Sounders, who have combined to appear in 4 of the 5 MLS Cups over the span while winning 3. So of course, yeah, this Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Apple TV. Their postseason rivalry will be renewed as both clubs via to earn a berth in the Western Conference Final and move one step closer to the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal, Danny, of lifting the Philip F. Anschutz Trophy as MLS Cup champions.
Hell yeah.
Seattle, behind their scoring exploits of forward Raul Ruidiaz, bested LAFC in both 2019 in the Western Conference Final and 2020 in the first round, en route to MLS Cup appearances in each of those seasons. Ruidiaz was the hero in both meetings, scoring 3 goals and adding 2 assists while contributing to 5 of the club's 6 goals across those contents. LAFC punched back in 2023, defeating Seattle 1-0 in the Western Conference semifinals behind a goal from forward Dennis Bouanga before advancing to their second consecutive MLS Cup. This should be a really good matchup. It's not a rivalry in my opinion, but it's been a good matchup when these guys play, considering LAFC's first victory was against Seattle at Seattle. I think it was a 1-0 victory up north. I don't think the fan bases like each other that much because of that reason, but I wouldn't say it's a full rivalry yet. As much as the MLS wants to spin this, it still hasn't gotten to that point. I think if this game is a dud, then yeah, it's not a rivalry. But if this game has fireworks and flames and confetti everywhere, then yeah, it could be a rivalry. But we have to wait and see. Once again, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific on Apple TV, MLS Season Pass from BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Dan, you got anything you want to tell me real quick?
The Sounders and the LAFC have been staples in the MLS postseason, each averaging a top 4 position in the Western Conference, and with a top 8 finish in the Supporters Shield standings since the former entered the league in 2018. With the winner of the previous postseason matches advancing to the MLS Cup, their high-powered showdown can carry a more importance in the Audi 2024 MLS Cup Playoff.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. And move closer to the to crowning another club from the Western Conference as the cream of the crop in the MLS playoffs. But
not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Yeah, I mean, they're two heavy hitters. I think LA.
No, yeah, for sure.
LAFC, I think, is a favorite in general.
They are the number 1 seed in the Western Conference.
Number 1 seed, defending the cup. We'll see how they do. But
we're trying to get another cup.
Yeah.
Columbus was the defending champion.
Oh, right, of last year. Gotcha. Right, but
they did. I think
they went to the final.
Make it to the final.
Yeah, but they lost.
Yeah, and they lost to Columbus.
Yeah, because it was in 2022 that they got the cup. Excuse me. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it rolls. But we got 2 other matchups to talk about, Rob.
Yeah, I just want to say really quick. Yeah, Seattle. They are a very tough cookie. They're one of those teams. They start out kind of slow, as per usual. And they just kind of stormed up into the top half of the Western Conference. And I don't think a lot of people thought they would be here, but yeah, they're not soft. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, LAFC, I believe they do have a slight hot hand, but they need to get Giroud going. Hasn't been as productive as I think a lot of statisticians believe he thought he was going to be, but we'll have to wait and see. LAFC just likes to play the late game and get late winners, but Seattle, they will hunker down and they will make you suffer just little by little, minute by minute. But moving on, we got 2 more games to go over really quick. Sunday, November 24th, we have our second Eastern Conference matchup between Atlanta United and Orlando City. On the East Coast, Atlanta is full of confidence after pulling off probably one of the greatest upsets in MLS postseason history, taking down Miami and Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
The 5 strikes are set to take on their southern rivals, a good old Florida-Georgia rivalry there, as Atlanta travels to Orlando. The 4th-ranked Lions should hardly be considered a surprise, having earned 31 points over their final 14 regular season matchups, with a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, and 3 draws, the second best total in MLS since July. However, it was it was far from smooth sailing for Orlando in round 1. Head coach Oscar Pereira's side needed a second-half stoppage time penalty kick goal from Facundo Torres to force an eventual 4-1 shootout win over Charlotte FC in Game 3. That saw goalkeeper Pedro Gallese make 2 crucial saves. Atlanta produced arguably the greatest upset in MLS playoff history, as mentioned before. Getting rid of the biggest team, that biggest and probably greatest team on paper in MLS history, because you had Messi, Jordi Alba, Busquets, and Luis Suarez on their team. But hey, look who came to save the day for Atlanta. Brad Guzan, his goalkeeping heroics, spearheaded this ninth-seeded team to victory, and helped them win at home. Then they went back to Miami and they got the dub. So yeah, if you were to ask me who I think were to win, I would have to pick Orlando, because I think Atlanta used up all their good luck. So I think Orlando would move on in this one-off game. This game is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on Apple TV MLS Season Pass.
Not a sponsor.
From Inter & Co. Stadium. Yeah, not a sponsor, in Orlando, Florida. Oh, and then I almost forgot. Who do you have, Seattle or LAFC?
I'm going to take LAFC.
Okay. I'm going to go Seattle.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even have to ask what you were going to pick.
You didn't even have to ask. Yeah. And then, Atlanta or Orlando. I got Orlando. Who do you got?
I also got Orlando in this one.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we got our Western Conference matchup. Oh, were you going to say, Danny?
Oh, no. I was going to say Cinderella story for Atlanta, but it's tough to do it twice,
No, yeah, and especially because it's not a series now. It's just the one game.
It's just a knockout.
You're playing away. I did see a headline somewhere that Orlando sold out their supporter section, the wall. So, yeah, it's going to be a raucous crowd out there in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the last last conference semifinal of the week from the weekend on Sunday is the Western Conference matchup with Minnesota visiting the Los Angeles Galaxy. Not many gave Minnesota a chance to win their round 1 series against RSL. So some could probably consider it. I mean, it is quintessentially an upset, but I think between those two, not a lot of people were expecting much anyway. But Minnesota, they found themselves in a situation going against the LA Galaxy, who are number 2 in the Western Conference. It'd be interesting to see who comes out the winner. We could probably have an El Tráfico derby between the number 1 seed LAFC and number 2 seed LA Galaxy in the Western Conference final. The Galaxy, they flexed their muscles in round 1, powering to a 2-game sweep of the Colorado Rapids by a combined 9-1 scoreline. Ricky Puig, he was great in all the games. He tallied 4 goals, 1 assist to lead a unit that includes 2024 MLS Newcomer of the Year Gabriel Peck, Joseph Pencil, and Dejan Joveljic, who's been on a pretty good scoring streak. And, of course, you have your supporting depth, Diego Fagundes, the big name, Marco Reus. Him being added on to the depth chart was a great addition. The Galaxy scored the 3rd most goals in the MLS this year with 69. So, the Galaxy are chasing a record 6th MLS Cup title and their first since 2024. It's a little bit of pressure for the team, but I think they could pull it off. Minnesota's postseason, return, it's good. We'll just have to see if they get Emmanuel Reynoso to get going. I know he a little bit of a problem off the field, but I think they finally snapped him into, playing for the team. Oh, no, excuse me. I totally skipped this part. They sold him in May, excuse me. I guess I have to rely on the goalkeeping prowess of goalkeeper Dan St. Clair, all-star midfielder Robin Lod, and DP striker Kelvin Yaboa. And I think we'll have to see a matchup of talent on the field. This game is at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on Apple TV, MLS Season Pass. And additionally, Fox Sports 1 and Fox Deportes. This game will take place at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Danny, who do you got winning this game?
I got the Galaxy for you, baby.
Hey, there you go. I know it was a lot I had to say, but there you go.
Oh, good to see your team.
What are you gonna do? No, yeah, for sure. And I think both teams, coming off of this 3-week break from the international break, we might see a slow play. It might rain, which might be in Minnesota United's advantage, but the Galaxy do have a good record in rain games. So we'll have to see how the pitch flows. It might be a little bit damp, might hinder the Galaxy's fast movements, but like I said, they have a good record in the rain, and Minnesota United plays in the rain, so we'll have to see what happens. It'll be a good matchup, but yeah, I got Seattle and the Galaxy, and I have New York City playing Orlando in their conference final. And I guess I know I've gone over the time a little bit here, but I guess since we're not gonna record, let's just jump into it really quick. I'm gonna have Galaxy going to the MLS Cup final facing New York City.
Damn. That's crazy.
Here, though, a lot of people say Orlando's good, so I wouldn't be surprised if Orlando makes it. But yeah, I got Galaxy in for sure. New York City, that's my final. And you guys guess who I'm picking. But Danny, who do you got? So you said LAFC, Galaxy in the Western Conference final. Then who's going to the final?
Yeah, to the final. In the Eastern, I said
from the Western Conference.
Yeah. Oh, in the Western Conference, I'll say
I want the MLS Cup final.
Oh, MLS Cup final.
So you said
I'll flip it on you. I'll say LAFC takes it. I'm sorry, Rob.
Bruh.
I'm just kidding. LA Galaxy. I'll take LA Galaxy, and in the East, I will take Orlando.
All right, and then who's winning the cup?
I'm gonna give it to you, Galaxy. I'm gonna give it to you this year, Rob.
All right, bet. You hear it here first. Galaxy winning MLS Cup from RunOff from Danny Tan.
Yes, sir.
But That's everything for me. Yeah, I'm just excited for these next couple games, and yeah, it's all knockout rounds from here. So I don't want to talk about it no more. Actually, I'm gonna start getting sick. That's how it was for me against Colorado. I was like, no, they can't get the upset, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens in these next matches. But yeah, we're gonna move on now.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of palate cleanser, to calm your nerves, Rob. Let's head into the warm up.
Yeah, we got the warm up. We got a fun little segment that our very own Danny came up with. He said, "What you been watching? What you been watching in sports?"
Yes, sir.
Just gonna kind of over what we've been watching, like social media wise, YouTube wise, not mainstream. I know we've kind of done this before, but a little more on the lighter note. But I don't know, Danny. Who do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
What do you want? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I could start. Based off of watching the World Series, and off of you, I watch more John Boy Media and a bunch more baseball stuff. But the one thing I've really been watching is a bunch of YouTube golf. I know I've said before, golf is boring as hell to watch. I think golf on YouTube is approachable. It's easier. It's bite-sized. You're following one player, which is, I think, the hardest thing to do when you watch golf on TV. They're bouncing around, which, I mean, I think is the only way to do it because everyone is so good and playing the highlights and whatnot. But my favorite watching right now, shout out Bob Does Sports on YouTube. They're so funny. It really feels like you're hanging out with the guys on a Sunday, just watching them. They're their city antics and stuff. Shout out to them. They had 2 hole-in-ones this year, like a month and a half, 2 months apart. Nice. Yeah. It's been awesome for them. They're going to the moon. I mean, they've been great. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're hilarious. Rob, what have you been up to? What have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the John Boy Media stuff because I want to see their reactions to the World Series, and they're respectable enough to actually still cover the Yankees because that's their team because they're based out in New York. So yeah, John Boy or Jake, I believe. He went over the travesty that was the 5th inning for the Yankees, and yeah, it was a very good breakdown. I recommend watching this. He goes over the 5th inning and like what happened. Beginning with that Aaron Judge drop. I shit you not, Danny. He literally took his eye off the ball for a split second.
Yeah, I've seen some of the slowdown in the replays. It's instantaneous to like look for his target to toss. Yeah, it's tough.
I'll send it to you because basically they do this cool edit where like they zoom in on his eyes and it's like very clear and they show the glove and literally second by second you see his eyes turn to the left as the ball hits his glove, and that's when he drops it. He literally took his eye off the ball, and that was the reason why he dropped the ball. And then he also goes over I guess you could say miscommunication between Anthony Rizzo and Garrett Cole, when Cole kind of started jogging to first, and then Rizzo didn't realize that Cole was jogging to first, and then he stopped, and then Rizzo looks to toss him the ball, and nobody home, and Mookie Betts gets the first, and that's how the Dodgers get that first run in. And yeah, and then he and this is why John Boy's really good. He found like a clip from like 2 years ago, the same play with I think Garrett Cole as well, and like. Yeah, and my girlfriend was asking me this because she even wanted to she wanted in on this too. She's like, wait, so what? Why is this like whole play? Why is this whole thing important? I'm like, this is quintessentially, and she likes basketball, so I put it to her like this. This is quintessentially a pick and roll situation. You expect it to happen, and it has to happen in a specific order. Like this is just common sense for baseball. But coincidentally as well, there was a similar play in this game where, Rizzo picked up the ball and ran the first, but the difference was the ball was hit a little further away from first base, and yeah, he broke it down and like he overlaid it, and you could tell, yeah, like the ball was another 2-3 feet away from first base. And, Mookie just hustled each time, and he got there. And, Garrett Cole failed to get the first. And it was just a total mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bad, yeah. I recommend watching it. Just look up John Boy, Yankees 5th inning breakdown. And, yeah, he goes through it. It's about a 12, 15-minute video. It's really good. I recommend watching it. I know, sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but yeah, that's literally what I've been watching the past, 2 weeks or so since that time. But, Dan, do you have anything else to ping-pong back to me, or can I name another one?
No. Go ahead and name another one.
I found this social media page called the Sports Cappuccino, and I guess they do something very similar, and I would admit probably way better than us at the moment. They do kind of do like a sports recap, kind of like us, and they have a podcast, and they go over major sports headlines, and then they also do like little social media posts. Like they'll be like, I'm gonna give you 5 words, and you have to name me this NBA player, or this NFL player, or this MLB player, or whatever, something like that. So I've been watching a lot of their stuff, because I think I'm like, hey, wait, this is fun and quirky. I'm like, I think we should be doing that, low key. So that might be the move. Something very similar. We're not stealing their idea, but I do like what they're producing. So shout out to the Sports Cappuccino, because I really like their stuff. And then I just been watching a lot of soccer media, because we had the international break. So I've been watching a lot of somewhat international soccer. I got to watch the USA matchups, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, I was watching some of the MLS Cup breakdown videos, the U.S. men's national team matchups against Jamaica in the CONCACAF Nations League, which were really good. So a lot of ESPN FC. They have a programming on ESPN called Football Americas, with Hercules Gomez and damn it, I can't remember the other guy's name. Damn it, I can remember his face, but I can't remember his name. I hope at some point he never hears this. But yeah, I like watching that programming. But yeah, what else you got, Danny? What else have you been listening or watching? Sports related.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to the Numbers on the Board podcast.
What's that?
They're great. It's they're 4 guys. I think they started as 2K players. But they're just big basketball heads. They're based out of Chicago, I believe. And yeah, I mean, they're great. They talk about the whole NBA. They highlight players here and there. They go dive into the advanced stats. They're really great podcasts. They're silly at times when it's needed. But it's a really good podcast. Numbers on the Board. Yeah. Other than that, I have been, diving deep into too much golf shit, man. I'm be real. It's just so much golf stuff.
I think we're just gonna have to do a podium show of just golf. I don't know if it'll be like.
I mean, I don't even think I have enough to talk about that, but.
I mean, we've done segments of just golf before. We did 20 minutes. I know we've done a 20-minute segment on golf before. I mean, it was us playing.
Yeah.
And we kind of went over. I think it was around the Ryder Cup. It was around
it was around the Ryder Cup.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
But I think we might need 1 or 2 more voices to do a 40-minute to an hour show of that.
Yeah, I think so.
To get more perspective on the game. You feel me?
Yeah. Somebody.
So maybe down the line.
Yeah, down the line, we'll get some people who are better than us.
I mean, we have friends that play golf. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's what I was thinking.
That's true.
We could just call them and be like, hey, you want to be on the show?
Yeah.
We just need to talk about golf.
We could. Definitely.
What do you like about it? How much do you spend on it? Stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm trying to... I think I had... Oh, here we go. Pat McAfee. Duh.
Of course.
I've talked about that here, but really quick. Someone on the College Game Day on ESPN finally made the 35... Well, not finally. I think so what happened was, so he explained what happens. The first 300 people get a raffle ticket. They call your name or your number, and you get picked to kick a football at least like 30 or 35 yards out for a field goal. If you make it, you win X amount of money that they're giving.
Oh yeah.
So a girl got selected, but she's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So she gave it to her friend or the next person over, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he's like, I play soccer. Like, I have nothing negative to say about kickers or whatever. He's like, I'll do it. I can make it. I think his pot, I can't remember off the top of my head, his pot, Danny. Oh, because also they were trying to donate money to, like,
charity.
I think charity or like some sort of relief.
Yeah, I think it was the Haiti relief. No, it was the hurricane and no. Yeah, hurricane relief fund.
It was it was like a relief fund. So his pot was like $100,000.
Yeah.
And he fucking made it.
He made it. Yeah,
I think it might even been more low key.
I think he walked away with $180K. No.
It's because it was somebody because Pat kept like doubling it. He was like, "I'll add this, and we're gonna add this."
Yeah.
And yeah, he made it on the first try.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn!" Like that was crazy. But yeah, that's what I've been watching on the sports media. That's what
200K.
Which I've been.
It says Georgia student hits 800K college game day field goal. 800K.
Dude, that's insane.
That's
and he
crazy.
hit it like down the middle too.
Damn. 800K. It says
like it was
they
not a bad
agreed
kick.
to split what was initially supposed to be a 150K prize if Silver made the kick. Before the kick, McAfee bumped the prize to 200K and then doubled it to 400K. McAfee announced that he would match the 400K prize with a $400,000 donation to hurricane relief efforts. Damn.
That's insane.
800 total, 400 out the door for them.
And that girl got some of the money too.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was just hilarious. But also, I think they did that because they knew he was going to make it.
I think he split it. So
he
took 200, she took 200, and then the rest of charity.
Yeah.
400 to charity.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
But, yeah. Do you have anything else to add, Danny?
That's all I got, Rob. I think we're ready for the rundown.
All right, for sure. We're going to hop right into it. Play the imaginary running music that we don't have. It's like JK. So, yeah, the rundown. First up, a little bit of housekeeping from about a week ago. NASCAR had their Championship Cup Series final. And your Champion Cup Series winner is Mr. Joey Logano, winning at Phoenix Raceway and taking home the cup on the final start on lap 259 of 312 of Sundays, or a couple weeks ago now. NASCAR Cup Series Championship race at Phoenix Raceway. Logano drove like a cannon, shot from 6th place past Blaney, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and finally the race leader and champion for contender, your boy, William Byron, to seize the top spot on lap 260. The victory was Logano's 4th at Phoenix, his 4th of the season, and the 36th of his career. As a 3-time champion, Logano ties Lee Petty, David Pearson, Cale Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, and Tony Stewart, all NASCAR Hall of Famers. I know half of these guys. I know you know at least one or two of these guys' names on here. Yeah, that is not bad company. I mean,
no, it's a very small list to join.
I mean, yeah, but that's like really good company to be around, Loki.
Hell yeah.
That is really good company to be around.
Hall of Famers, man. Hall of Famers.
Yeah, those are NASCAR Hall of Famers. Those are people that have their faces on Wheaties boxes. Only 4 drivers have more titles, which include other big name people that you should know, Danny, and everyone listening to this. Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt Sr.,
the GOAT,
and Jimmy Johnson, with 7 each, and Jeff Gordon, my favorite,
other GOAT,
number 24, with 4 respectively. So yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I mean, he's still a young guy. He could probably go for 4, tie Jeff Gordon, maybe even pass him. And yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna reach the 7, but yeah, that would be insane. Yeah, congratulations to Joey Logano.
Shout out, congrats
for reaching it that far, being the champ. And yeah, I'm still gonna bring it up that you got would you say the first pick in your draft?
Yeah, by
because you
betting
picked William Byron.
Yeah. That's my guy.
Only because I'm gonna take credit for that because we do this podcast.
It's you, baby.
Yeah, I'm taking that fucking credit.
Sure.
Fuck that.
Hey,
That's
if
fucking
I win
hilarious.
this year, I'll give you a cut.
I bet. Handshake.
Virtual handshake. I'll give you a cut.
I'm literally shaking my hand. Yeah,
Yep, shaking it.
Virtual handshake. Cause yeah, that's crazy though. But yeah, it was a great NASCAR season, and we look forward to next year. I believe they already announced their races and times for next season. So yeah, go check out that. It was a good NASCAR season. Moving on, we have some NFL headlines. The Kansas City Chiefs fell to the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo and are now 9-1. That a lot of the Chargers fans I know were very happy about that. Now giving them an ear-hole shot to possibly catch up to the Chiefs. But yeah, the Chiefs had a good run. I was talking to one of our friends, Danny, and he's never seen so many NFL fans want to see a team fall so bad, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
The Packers beat the Bears on what would have been a potential game-winning kick as they blocked it. There may have been some tomfoolery. They're not allowed to touch the center, which they didn't, but he fell flat on his back as like 3-4 big dudes came at him, and they were able to block the punt. And then in more not-so-footballish news, a piece of metal at Monday Night's football game recently was falling down from the Cowboys Stadium. So the roof was collapsing quintessentially.
Damn.
Just like the Cowboys season is right now.
Damn, bro.
As they lost to the Texans on Monday Night Football. I believe I saw a stat somewhere saying that the Saints scored more touchdowns at AT&T Stadium more than the Cowboys have this whole season. And that game was week 2. We are like halfway through the season now. And yeah, the Cowboys is just not getting it going. Dak Prescott got injured, and yeah, it's not looking too good for the boys right now. But that's the headlines. And then for the primetime games this week, Thursday Night Football, we got Steelers versus the Browns, Prime Video at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Time. For Sunday Night Football, we have the Eagles versus the Rams, NBC Peacock at 5:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And your Monday Night Football matchup will be the Ravens visiting the LA Chargers. You can watch the game on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus at 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And as I mentioned earlier, I was able to watch some international soccer. We had the CONCACAF Nations League. The United States traveled to Jamaica, where they were victorious in the first leg, winning 1-0 off a Ricardo Pepi 5th-minute goal. A couple minutes later, Matt Turner blocked a penalty to keep the game at 1-0. And then the second leg, the U.S. returned to the United States to play in St. Louis, winning leg 4-2 from goals behind Christian Pulisic, Ricardo Pepi, and Timothy Weah. Christian Pulisic had a golazo of a goal, having an assist from Weston McKennie. McKennie, a little bit past midfield, set up the pass to Pulisic, who let it bounce right in front of the goalkeeper, and then one-timed it into the back of the net, getting the goal scoring going for the United States. They will now have to wait for the remainder of the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal matchups to come to a close before finding out who they will face when the tournament picks up back in March. But with a +3 goal differential, the U.S. men's national team will have a good chance at grabbing the top seed for the semifinals. So yeah, going to wait for a bit now. The U.S. looking really good under new head coach Potocino. And yeah, I mean, these guys looked really good, Danny, by the way. Like, they were doing shit that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they were one-time passing. They had Anthony Robinson playing as normal right back position, coming into the middle. You know, they were stretching the field. I mean, this wasn't a crazy-looking Jamaica team. Jamaica, I feel like they have the staff. They have the resources. They're not getting the talent pull out as they wish. But yeah, they defeated Jamaica. Those 2 goals, they did let go. I believe they did take their foot off the gas, which I'm pretty sure their coach is not going to be happy with, probably going back to the drawing board to be like, hey, we can't let this happen, because if not, it's going to bite us in the ass later on. But yeah, I think it was a good showing from the U.S., and I hope they keep this going. Moving on into the tournament. Moving on, a little bit more soccer news. The NWSL 2024 final from KC is this weekend as well, September 23rd, at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Kansas City from CPKC Stadium. The final consists of the Orlando Pride playing the Washington Spirit. For the Orlando Pride, they have, I don't know if you've never heard this name, but Morta, who is arguably the greatest women's soccer player of all time. She helped their team, lead them to an unstoppable season. They almost went undefeated, which was insane. But yeah, they defeated KC, the would-be home representative, in the semifinal. Morta with a great down-the-middle run, taking out two defenders, taking out the goalie, and then making her goal. Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with. And then on the other side, Danny, you're going to love this. The Washington Spirit have U.S. Women's International Trinity Rodman. Yes, you heard me correct, Danny. That Rodman.
What?
That Rodman. She is a workhorse. She is just everywhere on the field. She's just aggressive, and yeah, she likes to put the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, wherever the ball is, she's going to be there. So you got to watch out for her. If I were to give a prediction, I'd have to give it to Orlando. They've been the best team in the regular season. They were the best team in the playoffs. So I have to give it to Orlando. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they are the champions at the end of this. And then a little bit more basketball news for you, Danny. In the WNBA, they just had their lottery draft. Were you aware of that, Danny?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just gonna name you the top 5 teams that went through, or that were selected, or I don't know, raffled. I don't know. It's basically a crapshoot, right, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the NBA. I mean, it's
a lottery.
Yeah, it's draft order lottery. Go ahead.
So the number 1 pick, as selected or picked or whatever, as shown in the lottery, will be the Dallas Wings. Number 2 will be the Los Angeles Sparks. Number 3 will be the Chicago Sky. Number 4 is the Washington Mystics. And the number 5 is the Golden State Valkyries, who will be entering the league this season. Correct, Danny? If I'm wrong?
Yes.
I believe
this upcoming season. Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations to the Dallas Wings. I did see a clip of the LA Sparks players. They were all in shock.
Yeah.
That they were getting number 2. But yeah, hopefully, with Cameron Brink's injury, she comes back strong, and whoever they get in the draft, helps them out and, gets them out of this, this slump that they're in right now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and then lastly, in our rundown, we got the top 5 college football playoff standings that were recently announced. I'll go from number 5 to 1. Number 5, Indiana. Number 4, Penn State. Number 3, Texas. Number 2, Ohio State. And the number 1 ranked team in the college football playoff standings is Oregon. Yeah, and that was your top 5. If for also the draft as well, if you guys are more interested in the number ordering, just go onto WNBA's website, look up the college football standings online, and you will get more information on that. I just condensed it due to time constraints. But yeah, Danny, I have nothing else on the rundown. Do you have anything else to add that I may have skipped over, or you think might have been interesting?
No, sir.
Alrighty, yeah, I know. Sorry that this episode was a little long today. I mean, we had a lot to go over right before the Thanksgiving break. But yeah, I'm just trying to look at my calendar really quick. Yeah, so yeah, no episode next week. We have the holidays coming up. But yeah, yeah, do you want me to start the outro, I guess?
Yes, sir. Take us out.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening to Rambling RunOff. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are listening on Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music, or Apple Music, please give us a follow. If you want to see more from us online, hit us up on X, aka Twitter, at Rambling RunOff, and also on Instagram, at Rambling RunOff. Plus, we're on TikTok, so check us out on there. But yeah, I've been your host, Robert Rios, for my co-host, Danny Tan. We'll see you next time. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there. And I guess happy Black Friday as well.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Peace.